So essentially the Thai state is now a subsidiser of the rural economy. Now, what does all this mean for politics and corruption and the issues I started talking about? Let me try to sum up here with a quote, what I see as the key political dynamic of this middle-income peasantry that's emerged in Thailand. This is a bit self-indulgent. It's a quote from my own book that hasn't even been published yet. But here we go. It sums up the argument well, I think. Among Thailand's peasants, the primary livelihood challenge has moved away from food security, the old classic peasant challenge, to the middle income challenges of diversification, productivity and disparity. The core political dynamic for this middle income peasantry is not minimising surplus extraction, but maximising state subsidy. It's no longer the intrusive presence of the state that is likely to prompt resistance, but on the contrary, the state's disinterest, absence or forced withdrawal. Now here, if I was to sum up this political dynamic, I'd like to take a term from anthropologist of South Asia, Partha Chatterjee, who talks about this idea of political society. And for him, this political society is based on a productive intersection between peasant politics and the governing practices of the modern state. So this idea of political society suggests that local political identities are not some remnants of some pre-modern era, or they're not resistant identities attempting to battle with the state, but rather they're the product of an engagement between all the state's livelihood and subsidy and classification schemes and the political aspirations of the peasantry itself. This is what I'm calling political society here, adapting this idea a little bit. And in rural Thailand, I think this political society, this collaborative relationship between the peasantry and the state is typified by three things. Very strong interpersonal connections between local communities and state officials, locally specific negotiations and transactions and exchanges rather than some notion of universal rights and benefits, and forms of identity that are based on both legibility, making themselves legible to the state, but also on eligibility, on making sure local communities are eligible for state subsidy. That's enough